The Philadelphia 76ers have been suffering from a bad case of Murphy's Law because whatever can go wrong will go wrong has been the case all season for these guys. Plus, Isaiah Hartenstein is back for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He made history in his debut last night. We're going to discuss those things right after the intro.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
Good morning, NBA basketball fans. Welcome to another episode of NBA Central. It's your boy, Big Kev, back in the building. Y'all already know. Hit us up, follow us wherever you like to receive your social media updates. And we're going to get right into the content. The Philadelphia 76ers are in trouble once more. They're 2-12 on the season. They just got Tyrese Maxey back, and now Paul George has hurt his knee again. They say it's just a new knee bruise. He could have came back in the game last night, but he did not as it started to stiffen up. And frankly, we're going to talk about that man's knee a little bit more as we move forward. But hey, the Philadelphia 76ers are in just it's just everything that could go wrong to start the season has gone wrong with Joel Embiid not starting the season with the team. And then on the verge of coming back, he got into it with a reporter and had to serve his 3-game suspension. And when you get him back, Tyrese Maxey got hurt. And then Paul George got hurt at the beginning of the season, missed a few games himself. Tyrese Maxey was out there trying to hold it down on his own without Embiid and Paul George. And when you get Maxey back last night, Paul George goes down with another injury. That's why they're 2-12, 1-7 on the road. Now, to Joel Embiid's credit, he did look okay, but not just okay, he looked like his former self last night. 35 points, 10 for 21 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, but 14 for 14 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds for him. So he was out there looking good, but it was not good enough to overcome the Memphis Grizzlies. And hey, it is what it is, man. When you're out there playing with a team that just can't stay healthy. It's rough. It's rough. And it all culminates in the things that the players are saying, behind the scenes, that they're saying off the court with Tyrese Maxey calling out Joel Embiid and telling him, hey, you got to be better. You got to come to meetings on time. You stop being late to everything. To Joel Embiid responding to that by saying whoever leaked that information is a piece of dookie. He used a swear word in that sense, a piece of defecation. You know, and now Paul George is out again. And I guess Joel Embiid doesn't even know what Nick Nurse wants to do sometimes out there. So it's really rough right now for the Philadelphia 76ers. It came in as a supposed title contender to start the season. 2-12 is not going to cut it. It's rough out there for those guys right now. I mean, seriously, like, I don't know. I'm not a 76ers fan, but I am a fan of the individual players that they have. They're trying to build this team around. They're trying to build a core around with Tyrese Maxey, good young player. Definitely enjoyed watching him in high school and college. And then you got Paul George, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid obviously is one of the best players in the NBA, and when he's playing well, it's good for the league. It's definitely must watch basketball, must watch League Pass if you're into that type of thing. But Paul George, when they gave him the contract that they gave him at the, over the summer, $212 million contract for 4 years, I honestly didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. The man is on the wrong side of 30. He's proven to be injury prone at this point in his career. His tenure with the LA Clippers, for example, was definitely riddled with injuries. And here you are now at the beginning of the season. You only played 7 games out of 14, so you play half the games, and you're not the PG of old. You're not the PG of old. The man is shooting under 40% for the season, 27% from three. When he only had one really good game for the 76ers when he hit 7 threes against the Knicks. But and even before he got injured last night, he was 1 for 6 in 16 minutes. 17 minutes. I mean, it's just it hasn't looked good. 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 2 from three. He did have 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal, but he was a -10 when he was out there. Joel Embiid and he was doing all right. Like I said, gave you his numbers earlier, but Tyrese Maxey's working himself back from injury, and he didn't look good. 8 points on 3 of 13 from the field, 0 for 6 from three. Just Nick Nurse and the 76ers have to figure something out. If they want to truly, truly, honestly be contenders, they got to figure out what they're trying to do because it is not looking good. And right now, it's looking like Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are going to have to shoulder the load for however long. Paul George is going to be out. It's probably going to be a short time. But looking at the way that knee keeps buckling, how long is Paul George going to be a viable piece to this offense for the season, just in general? Because this is twice already, just in 14 games. Well, in 7 that he's played, twice. And honestly, as a person who plays basketball, nagging injuries tend to continue, especially when you're going to be out there for 80 plus games week in and week out, grueling. Um, the one wrong step, one wrong landing, one wrong attempt to take off, and there you go again. How many more times is Paul George going to re-aggravate this nagging knee injury throughout the course of the season? Because I guarantee you, it's not going to be just these 2 times that has occurred. So, man, if you're a Philadelphia 76ers fan, I'm definitely praying for you guys because y'all are going through it. But at least enjoy what's happening on the NFL side with Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles. So last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have been suffering on the front line, were able to debut one of their offseason acquisitions, one of the quietest kept, one of the better offseason acquisitions this past summer with the Isaiah Hartenstein making his debut. In 29 minutes, he went 6 for 12 from the field, had 14 rebounds and 13 points, but more importantly, 3 blocks. Now, with Chet Holmgren out for the next few weeks, they definitely needed some presence down low for rim protection. And those 4 blocks were definitely needed for this team. They only won by 10 points. And, it's because they outscored the Trailblazers by 9 in the fourth quarter. And frankly, a lot of that had to do with Isaiah Hartenstein not only getting to the paint and catching lobs and dunks. And I think out of all 6 of those baskets, probably only one of them wasn't a dunk. It was crazy watching that man around in the paint last night. Then you also had 14 rebounds in 29 minutes. That's crazy work to go along with 4 blocks. And look, those blocks were grown men blocks. Those were grown man blocks. That man was blocking people who were trying to dunk the ball. At least 3 of those 4 blocks were at the rim, at the apex. Somebody that thought they had a lane that they could just dunk, and Hartenstein was getting his best Mutombo impersonation. So that was really, really good work from him, and he made history because I think he's only the second player in Oklahoma City Thunder, albeit they're a young team, to have a double double in his debut with the team. So, hey, listen, the Oklahoma City Thunder, even with as well as the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors are playing, they still have to be the favorite out west, right? They gotta be. They gotta be the favorite out west because with Shea Gilgis Alexander, Jalen Williams coming into his own, who put up, can you have a quiet 30 points? He had 30 points, 8 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 7 rebounds last night. SGA had 28 points, didn't shoot well. It wasn't really efficient, but he did go 14 for 14 from the free throw line. Um, no other starter scored more than 10 points. The bench is really what came in and held it down with Hartenstein, Caruso, and Mitchell shouldering the load there. The bench is really what won in the game. But the only thing that I can say about Oklahoma City that gives me reason for pause in terms of them being the favorite in the West is they just shoot the 3-pointer so poorly. They do not shoot the three well, and we know in the modern NBA, you got to shoot the three. You have to shoot the three at a higher clip than they are, because it's just It's just not good. Last night they only made 9 threes. Let me see real quick how many what their 3 point percentage is on the season because it hasn't really been good. They're shooting at 34.5%, 34.4% on the season, and they're taking about 43s. And honestly, in any other year, that would be great. But now teams are shooting 53s a game and making 18 to 20 of them. So if you're only making 13 and a half threes a game, that might come to bite you in the derriere in the future. But we'll see. We'll see if they can go ahead and make their defense their calling card. Because with Chet Holmgren, when he gets back, and Hartenstein to come off the bench, I wouldn't be surprised to see this team as a team average 7 or 8 blocks a game. Maybe even some games they'll have 10 to 12 blocks. That's just how prolific their interior defense would be with Chet Holmgren as a starter and Hartenstein coming off the bench, and the times that they'll even maybe have the twin tower approach for as they go deeper into the season. So I'm excited to see what happens with OKC, but they still are the favorites in the West, at least in my opinion. Just a real quick an update on the standings as we are nearing a quarter of the season, the first quarter of the season coming down to a end. Cleveland bounced back for their first loss of the season, which occurred against the Boston Celtics. So you can't really be mad at them for that. It's the defending champs. But they're 16-1 in the East. Boston's 12-3. The New York Knicks are playing much better after starting 5-5. They're now 9-6. Orlando, even with a loss last night, they're 9-7. They're playing pretty well without Paulo Banchero. I'm not mad at them for that. And then out in the West Conference, so a few familiar faces with Golden State at 11-3, just playing really, really well. Got home court advantage, 5-1 at the crib. Steph Curry's playing inspired basketball. Who, by the way, mentioned that the only thing that he's playing for is a championship. And Golden State, they didn't have to go through like a massive rebuild. They won a championship, I think, 2-3 years ago. It's not like they're in the midst of a massive rebuild, or it took a massive rebuild for them to at least flex their muscle again. Number one in the West, albeit it's still early. Oklahoma City at number 2 and 12-4. The Lakers at 10-4 on a 6-game winning streak. And man, I mean, like, how many general managers are looking at Dalton Connect like, what didn't we see in him, including my Chicago Bulls? Even though we like Montes Buzelis, Billy Donovan doesn't seem to like him much. I mean, he has a lot to work on, but that man, Dalton Connect, is a automatic 3-point shooter so far early in his NBA career. The Lakers are undefeated at home, 10-4. And the Houston Rockets, my dark horse team in the Western Conference, are 11-5. And the thing that was really carrying them, and that, I mentioned Oklahoma City's defense earlier. A few minutes ago, they're only allowing 103.6 points per game, and Houston's right behind them with 105. 106.2 points per game given up. So they're playing really, really good defense. And that's going to help them if they were going to, maintain any type of this. Because last season they had a nice little long winning streak. Toward the end of the season, they missed the play-in just by a few games. But right now they're a top 4 team in the West. They're trying to do their best to sustain it. Hopefully injuries don't hurt them. But I like what I'm seeing from them, and they're pretty good at home too. But that defense is stifling out there. So if you guys want to comment, go ahead and comment below. Let us know what you think about today's topics with the Philadelphia 76ers struggling to maintain health. And Joel Embiid just, trying to get back healthy, but still saying a few things that can rub people the wrong way off the court, saying that somebody was a piece of SHIT, sugar honey iced tea, because they leaked some information. I think that just comes with the game. It comes with the game, especially now with the social media aspect of everything. Think everything is streamlined, everything is readily accessible. So if you're gonna say something, if you guys are gonna have a quick team meeting, you better expect other people to find out about it. And then of course Hartenstein and Oklahoma City Thunder making his debut, and then let us know what y'all thinking about the standings so far Do you think Golden State Warriors, have a chance to win a championship? I think so. I mean, it is what it is. Steph Curry's the dog. Steve Kerr's still their coach. They definitely have what it takes, but they're gonna have to go through the Oklahoma City Thunder and the LA Lakers and so on and so forth. All right, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Holla at your boy. We're gonna see y'all next time. Peace.